Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, and today we'll be sharing ideas for a day trip from Chengdu. So we started from Chengdu East Station. So Chengdu actually has two main train stations, and we are headed to the east one to go to Leshan. Um, it's recommended that you get your TT to drop you off at the north entrance exit if you're coming from the city, so that they don't have to make a big U-turn. And if you don't already know, TT is something like Uber and Grab, but the Chinese version. Do plan your trip ahead, especially since there are security checks that you have to go through, and they are quite strict on it. Don't be alarmed if they make you drink a few sips of your water, as they need to prove that it's actually water. And also, like another tip for you is to show up with tickets, as foreigners are expected to present your passports before you can enter the station to prove that you have a ticket. So just take note of that. Also, here's an overview of like how the train station looks like, and there are quite a lot of stores that you can get food, and you can actually eat on these railways. So feel free to grab anything that you need. There will also be people approaching you for this baggage handling service when you're at the station. I think it predominantly works for domestic travelers, but I may be wrong, so you can check it out if you need. And anyway, we took the train from Chengdu to Leshan at a 7:02 departure. It's about an hour ride, so it ensures that we maximize our time in Leshan. Um, yeah, so this is how the train looks like. It's pretty comfortable. We have quite a lot of leg room, and yeah. And here's us enjoying our McDonald's breakfast. It works by a 3x2 configuration, and yeah, and since we were traveling as a group of four, we had two seats each, and you can even adjust your seat, so very comfortable. There were even PowerPoints on most of the seat. Thought it was easier to film the one opposite me. Because it was quite rushed for us during boarding, I didn't manage to film the toilets as well as the food bar that was on board, so you can look forward to that on your journey.
女士们、先生们，列车已经到达乐山站。Dear passengers, we are now at Leshan Station.
Overall, as we were only here for a day trip, it was really convenient, and we didn't really have much baggages, so it was very comfortable, and we just had to like wait for an hour. And also there were people coming down with trolleys of food, so if you forgot to get a snack before that and you wanted to grab a bite, you can still get it from them. Yeah, but overall a very nice train experience actually, and my first in China, so that's great. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. I think there are also different classes of cabins, but we just got the regular and the cheapest one that we could get. Yeah, but so the train is also really punctual. So if you are actually catching like connecting trains, just be careful of that, because the chance of delay was really, really low. And if anything, I think the train arrives like ahead of schedule for like most of the trains that we took on this trip. Yeah, and it leaves like down like on the dot. So just take note of that if you are having like connecting travels. So I think they did a really good job by putting the labels on the floor, so you could just very easily follow and get out the station. So there's actually quite a little bit of stairs. I'm not quite sure I remember seeing lifts, but that's just something to take note of. Yeah. So this following this path will lead you straight to the exit. You still need your passports to exit, so do take note of that and prepare ahead if you need. So yeah, again, this is how it looks like outside the station. There, it's so cool. Like there are so many cabs, and all of them were displaying the exact same advertisement at the same time, and it changes exactly at the same time. So very communist, I would say, but very interesting to look at. Yeah. So just cross the road opposite Leshan station if you're going to get any like TT again. They actually have a separate pickup point for the TT. So yeah, I'll show you how to get there, as most of the instructions I've found has been in Mandarin so far, so might be a little bit hard. So yeah, just cross the road from across the station, follow the signs to take the escalator down, and like yeah, just follow this path, and it would lead you to like a car park space, I would say, where you can get your TT to pick you up from. I would say it's still quite convenient, not very hard to find, and if you ever need, just always refer back to this video. And yeah, just a shameless plug. If you like any of this content, or if you find it like any helpful, do remember to um like, share, subscribe. Thank you. So it keeps me motivated. But anyway, yeah, here is where we get our Grab from. I mean TT from, and everyone here is doing the exact same thing, so you can feel safe doing that. So the first stop of the day was Leshan Jiaxing Food Street. We actually went to Jiaxing because we wanted to get some food, but we chanced upon this market which is really interesting. So we detoured basically. So over here, like they sell a lot of fresh produce. There were people like live slaughtering rabbits. It was quite a shock for me coming from a country that doesn't do this. Yeah, but yeah, quite interesting. And vendors were even sharing meat. So here's a funny story. This husky actually grabbed a piece of meat from like just the table, so the owner had no choice but to buy it. So anyway, like there was a lot of like different produce like fishes, um yeah, even eels, and they were all like, I would say, alive since they were moving, and like a lot of chicken and meat. And there was even like services that I don't think I ever really saw in my country, like making hamburger patties. But this is how bustling it looked like on a weekend morning. So they even have live slaughter stations where you can like handpick the animals um to be slaughtered for food, which was really a surprise because I really don't see that in my culture. But yeah, and people conducting lives, which was quite entertaining, I would say. And yeah, then we headed to like the real part of what we came here for, like to try this TNP. Yeah, so this is actually like I would say duck, like normal regular duck with like caramelized like skin. It tasted slightly sweet, and the duck was really tender. And we bought half a duck to share since we had four people, and it was quite a sizable portion. This is a Leshan delicacy, so definitely give it a try if you're in the area and judge it for yourself. So this was actually a surprise addition to our itinerary, the Dongfang Photo, which is the Oriental Buddha Park. You can find some of the ticket information here. We actually paid 80 RMB per adult, but it's free for anyone above 65. So you can take note of that if you're coming with older people. The sculptures here were nothing short of impressive. I'll get to some of these clips later. But we were here because the Leshan Big Buddha was undergoing some repairs, so the roads were closed. So this was the only other entrance. So yeah, that's why we're here. And anyway, this sculpture is of a big Buddha is apparently carved with eyes modeling that of the Empress Wu Zetian. And no matter where you stand, you're supposed to feel like the eyes was on you. So that was really interesting, and you can really experience it for yourself when you are there. Yeah, and there were multiple caves where like there are different sculptures from many different religions, I would say. I mean predominantly Buddhism, but um yeah, Buddhas from different countries and blessings written by different people. And I guess that's interesting about religion, right? Like it bonds people. And even if you're not Buddhist, I would say visit this place because the sculptures are so impressive and like with so much details. And yeah, what I captured was just like a very small bit of it. We were actually walking around without any guides. So, if you think that you would learn more, there are guides that you can engage along the way. Alternatively, if you're gutsy enough, you can just stick to a group where you can understand the language and like just try to stick close. But yeah, so this is just one of the very majestic stone Buddha that was carved, and the sheer size of it was so magnificent, and I've never seen anything like it. And the way the light hits, it just make it like even more majestic. So yeah, definitely a highlight in of like the trip to Leshan. And also there are like different sculptures here and like people performing some restoration work. And this is like the wheel of karma. So if you can like look into the different sculptures, you can see the level of detail. And this apparently it's like the god of medicine or something along those lines. Don't quote me on it though. There's a lot of stairs in this area, so just be really careful. And also, if you have any walking difficulties, I would think that you do have to take note of this, as it's a lot of upward sloping stairs, so it could hurt your knees. So yeah, just take note of that. Yeah, so there's a temple right at the top, so you can visit it, and you can even make bracelets with like your Mandarin name. So this is also the Thousand Hand Buddha, a prominent figure in East Asian Buddhism. So along the way, there will be signs that will lead you to this other ticketing booth for the Leshan Giant Buddha. It's about 80 RMB per person to explore this place on foot, and all the tickets are actually tagged to your passports for foreigners. So do remember to carry it whenever you're traveling in China. Yeah. So with the tickets, you can explore the temples, the different courtyards, as well as pavilions on site. But the most majestic part is definitely seeing the top view, the head of like the giant Buddha. Alternatively, you can opt for like a tour by ferry where you pay about 70 RMB, is about 30 minutes ride, where you can see a different view of the giant Buddha from bottom up. So a little bit of information about this giant Buddha. It's about 71-meter tall statue that is carved out of a cliff face. And the construction began thousands of years ago in the Tang Dynasty, and it is such an impressive sight. And this is the view that you get with the land ticket, and you get to really see the head of the Buddha up close, and it has a view overlooking the rest of Leshan city, so that's quite interesting. And to think such statues exist since such early times before like technology is so cool. And yeah, highly recommend you to check it out. We also wanted to visit the Ermey Mountain, which is listed as one of the UNESCO heritage site, but because we took quite a while to explore the area, we didn't have enough time to get up the mountain and down, since cable car stopped at around 4 to 5 p.m. and we have a train to catch back to Chengdu. So instead, we took the advice of like a driver that we met on TT, and got us to this restaurant instead. Apparently, this restaurant is kind of gate kept among the locals, so which offers really high quality food but slightly on the pricier side, but definitely worth a try. So over here they are popular for fishes, so you kind of can choose your own fish, the size, and they will weigh it, and you can tell them the method of preparation. As we got like a slightly bigger fish, we could split it into two methods of preparation. But this tofu one, it's like the bomb. Yeah, not this, but the other one. It's the best thing ever, so you should try it. And it comes with free flow rice. So after that, we got a TT to get us across the river. I really can't tell you where we were at because it took a TT to draw us anywhere nice. So anyway, we did see a lot of people playing chess and mahjong along the streets, so a very laid back lifestyle. Very different from the fast pace of like Singapore. So this is what I like about traveling, to explore like this aspect. And also there are very nice shop fronts, and I would say they retain like the essence of like some of the older buildings. And we also saw like a very quaint beach, so we decided to check it out as well. And it's located right by like a city wall that's left behind from the earlier days. So we just took a seat by the water, and you do get a view of like the giant Buddha, although
That's
like
what you
really
said 10 times
small
ago.
and faint. We saw a lot of people throwing rocks as well, so we were trying for ourselves. So that's how it went. So we explored the area a little bit more. There are actually other places that you could look at or like even shop around, but we didn't have enough time because it was a day trip. So we just got a glimpse of the city and boarded the 8:20 train back to Chengdu. I would say that like Leshan is a place where you can connect to a lot of other places like Jiaxing and like Meishan, and it deserves like a little bit of a longer stay, but this just gives you a glimpse. If you just want to do like a simple day trip out, it's possible. So till the next video, bye.